So much has happened in the sport of NASCAR, not only today, but this whole entire week. So I'm going to break down everything of the news that has happened in today's video. All silly season in this on the pedal. Hi everyone and welcome into On the Pedal. My name is Cameron Simpson. Pretty big episode today. Not only for some people but for everybody. NASCAR silly season has been in full swing for the last few weeks, so we're going to talk over some of the big developments that happened this week that some of you may be interested in hearing of who went where, who stayed, or who retired in this week. Silly season's been pretty much extended out for a really long time lately, and now it's more than ever important that we know who's going to go where and how they're going to do. Maverick is in the studio. Hi, Mal. Get out of the studio. Come on, get out. Go, get out. Oh, Maverick decided to interrupt us today. And we're back to the actual episode. But I thought it would be important for us to go through everything that happened this week. And it's not only in NASCAR that all this is happening. Free agency and NHL is in full swing. Don't worry, I'm not going to completely video it. I will be back with a video once we get most of the big names who find a spot to sign, which is all happening as I record this video. I'm taking a lot of notes in my book here. And I'm going to bring you all of that fun stuff that's happening in NHL free agency as well. But the big free agency stuff has came from the sport of NASCAR as well this week. So let's get right into some of the news that you guys might want to know. Next gen era has been a big question for NASCAR fans for a while. Is what is it going to look like if it's cheaper to own a NASCAR team? Are we going to see more NASCAR teams join when we go to a next gen format? Are we going to see more people want to jump on board with NASCAR's craziness because it will be cheaper? It's not going to be as expensive for a team to jump on board with NASCAR and be a part of it. And I think part of that is we just saw, just a few days ago, a team, we saw a team in Michael Jordan enter NASCAR. For his first ever time ever being in the sport, Michael Jordan enters NASCAR. But we know that it's becoming cheaper, it's becoming less expensive, it's becoming easier for people to own NASCAR teams. And where am I going with this? Daniel Suarez has landed a ride, but with a brand new NASCAR team. Trackhouse Racing will take Daniel Suarez under their hood and become the driver. But NASCAR veteran Daniel Suarez will drive for a new Cup team organization next year. Suarez was paired with Joe Gibbs Racing, as we mentioned many times, from 2017 to 18. Before moving to Stuart Haas in 1990, he had to go to Gaunt Brothers Racing, where then he announced that he was not going to race with Gaunt Brother anymore. And on Wednesday, his NASCAR career continues as he goes to Trackhouse Racing, and it will start a whole new crew next year. And Suarez will be the pilot of that vehicle. Maybe for the people that already know me, and maybe for the people that seem all this just from the very, very back. Maybe they're thinking, what the heck is Daniel doing starting again with a brand new team? Suarez said on a Zoom teleconference. But it's a very good opportunity. I've done a lot in the last few years. I know what it takes to be successful, not just on the track, but as well on outside the track. And one of the advantages of Justin it's just as still a race car driver as he is a team owner. He'll understand all sides to the coin extremely well. So Trackhouse Racing is taking Daniel Suarez under their arms, under their belt, to run a full season next year. Daniel Suarez didn't run the full season, if you remember. He did not qualify for the Daytona 500. He did not have a charter. Gaunt Brother didn't have a charter. Suarez never qualified there, and part of that being the fact of bad team, bad equipment. Now, next gen is coming around, and we're seeing many teams, because of the pandemic, fleeing and getting out of NASCAR. But on a happier note, many teams are coming into NASCAR as well. Part of that being that number one, it's becoming cheaper to own a car, and many more people are going to be competitive in NASCAR. We're not going to see as many lap down cars. We'll still see lap down cars, but every car that gets lapped down is going to be a competitive car, not a car that can't run in front of the field, and not a car that just sits there and does nothing. No, we're going to see many competitive race car drivers in the field. And when we see these drivers being competitive and getting back out there and running laps around this track like they should be good. And this is a sign of great things to come with next gen and all this stuff happening, and seeing more NASCAR teams coming in. Daniel Suarez was rumored to the 43, and now we get into the thing. We don't know who's going to fill in the 96 car. Honestly, we don't know. And we don't know who's going to fill in the 43. Eric Jones is still in the market. It would be an extremely downgrade for him, but he's also been rumored to the 88 car. We still don't know so many of these little things, and we really think that we would know them by now since the season is coming to an end. We just found out the other day who will be replacing Jimmy Johnson, Alex Bowman. Go check out that video if you haven't already. We already know who's replacing Jimmy Johnson. We don't know if the 88 will stay in the NASCAR schedule. We don't know if we'll even have an 88 or if they'll change it. We don't know if Kyle Larson will be back in the sport. Kyle Larson may come back in the sport for the 96 car. He may come back in the sport in so many different ways that I think we don't understand. We could also see Eric Jones land the 43. Corey LaJoie has been rumored now to go to Hendrick as well, and that is picking up steam from the fan base. I don't see that happening. I don't think Rick Hendrick is going to make that big of an investment on that driver. But on a note, I do think we will see something happen. And I do think we will see something happen where Corey LaJoie gets a better ride, and I think that would be Richard Petty Motorsports. Is if Corey LaJoie is as talented as Bubba Wallace seemed to be, he'll be able to run very, very well next year in that equipment. But if he's not, and that's what many people said, Corey LaJoie has never had a really big opportunity to come into NASCAR and be successful. Every time he tried to come into NASCAR, it kind of backfired on him. And that's a problem, you know. He always had bad equipment. And now with next gen, everyone's going to kind of be competitive in the sport. We'll still have our Kyle Bushes, our Kevin Harvicks, the best of the best, our Joe Gibbs racing drivers. But with this is happening right now, we still don't know so many dominoes and where people are going to fall. And mind the fact, when we talk about later in this show, I think Chase Briscoe has a spot in NASCAR now, because when we get later in the show, this is all silly season. But directly to this, we have many open rides, and a ride just opened up, so I think we have a really good opportunity here. But we have to understand what is happening, and we need to know that these drivers are just as great as anybody else. But congratulations to Daniel Suarez for landing this Trackhouse Racing ride. So we know that there's so many rides still that need to be filled up. And we'll see. This could go into the off-season. We might not know some stuff into the off-season. And that's why this channel is all year round. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, because 85% of you are not subscribed to this YouTube channel. Why? I really don't know. You want to get the best NASCAR content there is, you got to subscribe for On the Pedal and hit that bell icon and give this video a big fat thumbs up. And if you want a shout out, put it in the comments. I give shout outs in every video. If you want a shout out, I can give you a shout out. I've done it in the past and I'll do it again now once we get back to that. But the 15% of you who are subscribed, thank you so much. Please continue to support the channel. And if you want a shout out, you guys, go down below in the comments. But back to the video here. We go to another news that was been speculated. What's going to happen? How's it going to happen? And where's Matt DiBello going to go? As we know of today, Matt DiBello will remain for another year in Wood Brothers Racing, another year to prove himself. Remember, Matt DiBello made the playoffs for the first time in his career, and first time for Wood Brothers in a really long time. Well, not a long time. They went in with Ryan Blaney, but in a while. With Paul Menard, they didn't qualify for the playoffs because Paul Menard's terrible. So, sorry, Paul Menard fans. He was just really bad, and he got a throwback paint scheme. That's a debate for another time. But still, really supporting that and liking that. And Wood Brothers Racing, I think, made the best decision that they could have made. Because look, Matt DiBetto almost won many races. He's going to win a race next year, in my personal opinion, just because I think he's that talented where he can go out, and he can go out and perform at the top of his ability whenever and however he wants. And for that organization, aligned with Penske, Matt DiBetto coming in after Levine Family Racing dropped him for Christopher Bell. They dropped Matt DiBetto for Christopher Bell, and it was a big thing. And now Levine Family Racing is closed. Christopher Bell, who is going to be very successful in his career, is already off to Joe Gibbs Racing and is already getting back in for many sponsors. And they booted Eric Jones out. They are not afraid to boot good drivers out for young talent. Matt DiBetto, believe it or not, is still young talent, and he almost got booted out again this year from another young driver named Austin Cindric. Or even some people are like, well, what about Chase Briscoe? We're going to get to Chase Briscoe in a second, guys, and we're going to get to Austin Cindric in a second as well, regarding their future. But honestly, I think that this move by NASCAR and this move from anybody was a good move. Was not a bad move. It was a good move. And I don't see a problem with NASCAR doing this. I don't see any problem with NASCAR even thinking that, not NASCAR, excuse me, Wood Brothers. I don't see a problem with Wood Brothers doing this. And I think it's great for NASCAR because, look, he's a fan favorite, whether you want to say it or not. Matt DiBetto is a fan favorite in the sport of NASCAR. Always has, and honestly always will be. So watching him go through his racing career with Wood Brothers, I think will be good. And he's going to get them their 200th win. Or 100th win? Oh, God, I think it's the 100th win. I'm sorry, guys. My brain stalled there. I can't remember which one it is. But I do believe it's their 100th. I think that no one's made it to 100 yet. It would be so historic for them to make it there. And I'm rooting for them to get there. And we'll see what can happen. But I guess we'll see. But Matt DiBetto getting that contract extension is good for him and is good for his team. And I think it was expected by everybody involved. It wasn't expected by everyone involved, but I think it was very much somewhat expected that he would stay. In my mind, it was always expected. I couldn't see them going with Austin Cindric yet, but I could. After the schedule came out and we announced road courses, drivers who are good on road courses are becoming more and more important now to the NASCAR Cup Series, so we'll see what happens. But speaking of Austin Cindric's note, Team Penske announced on October 7th, which was Wednesday. Yeah, today they announced that its driver development program will be signing Austin Cindric to a contract extension that will see the 22-year-old remaining with the team through the foreseeable future, driving both the NASCAR Xfinity Series and Cup Series. Currently competing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs, Cindric will return to a race full-time in 2021 Xfinity Series while also earning the opportunity to drive in a select Cup races next season, 2022. Cindric will race the full season in the Cup Series as he will transition to Wood Brothers to drive the iconic number 21 Ford Mustang. Team Penske and Wood Brothers Racing formed a technical alliance in 2015, and the team has worked together on a driver development opportunities in the past. Most recently, the current Team Penske driver Ryan Blaney. As we continue to position our team for future success, it is important to make sure Austin continues his development in the Xfinity Series as Team Penske team owner Roger Penske. Austin has made great strides in recent years and has become a consistent winner and a true championship contender this season. He will continue his natural progression and get some Cup Series experience in 2021 that will help him prepare for his full season in 2022 with the new next-gen car racing the number 21 Ford Mustang for Wood Brothers Racing. So Penske's given out a multi-year deal that will outlines a few things for us about Matt DiBetto's future with the sport of NASCAR. Austin Cindric will get to ride in the 21, not just once next year, but a few times next year, and kicking Matt DiBetto out. Matt DiBetto, this isn't what he wanted to see. Austin Cindric in 2022 will have a full-time NASCAR ride for Wood Brothers, and unless Penske opts to put a 4-car team out on the track currently they only have a 3-car team, which I think by hearing this could happen. Matty DiBetto can land a full-time ride at Penske, or he's going to be booted out of the organization come 2022. And Penske, Roger Penske, already laid out his plan. This is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. And you can like it or not, that's how we're going to do it. But that's it. Like, I don't care whether or not you like the idea of us booting you out in 2022. I'm going to give you the plan so you can go find another race car to drive next year. He did sign the extension for 1 more year, which leads me to say that he hasn't been in negotiations with a Richard Petty or someone like that where he can ride in about the same equipment as Wood Brothers Racing. And I think it's tough for Matty D, and it's tough because he's honestly been, he's been noticed, and stuff has now been leaking out the last few days that Matty DiBetto was set to be released from Wood Brothers at the end of the season, but he has not. And now Austin Cindric, Roger Penske, he's a great driver, and with, again, road courses becoming such an importance on the schedule, 1 more year for him I think is the best decision. Bring him to Wood Brothers and then maybe advance it to the main thing, but we don't know yet right now. And honestly, Ryan Blaney keeps going the way he is right now. Ryan Blaney could be at the chopping block at the end of his contract because he is not a great race car driver. Unless he can turn things around, a driver like Austin Cindric is coming for him. Coming for him, just like Christopher Bell came for Eric Jones. And that's my opinion. As many people like Ryan Blaney, and understandably, that's my opinion. So, yeah. Select Cup races next season. Austin Cindric is prepared for the Sunoco Rookie of the Year campaign in 2022, which the project of NASCAR Next Gen, so that he'll come in for the new car. DiBetto made it to the playoffs and all this fun stuff, so he was very happy. This is what Matty DiBetto's statement did say. It's such an honor to be able to continue driving for Wood Brothers, have another year to grow with this organization, DiBetto said in a release provided by the team. I'm excited to learn from our 2020 notebook, and I'm confident with a full season under our belt and working together as a team, we'll proceed to better results. I also want to thank Ford Performance and Team Penske for their efforts in making this happen. These types of decisions take a lot of time, and we all know that there's a lot of factors in play. Also, 3 groups want to make the best decisions for everyone involved, and I'm appreciated to have the opportunity to continue to compete for such a legendary team. So we'll see what happens with Matty DiBetto and Austin Cindric. But as we know right now, Cindric is slated for 2022 to ride that 21 car. Matty DiBetto's future for us and for him right now is uncertain. But Cindric going to continue to stay in the car of the 22 in the Xfinity Series for a while. But we'll see if he can grow his way out of the Xfinity Series and maybe qualify for another ride next season. But we don't know. And we'll see what happens. But we have a lot to get to, including Clint Bowyer's recent announcement. And this might come to a shock to some of you. Clint Bowyer is retiring from NASCAR racing, but you're not going to miss him for too long because he's on his way to the NASCAR Fox Sports booth in 2021. I'm going to read you a statement from Clint Bowyer that he put out on his Twitter page in just a second, and then we're going to talk about who's going to fill in that 14 car because there's many people that are speculating where he'll go. I have my prediction for that. But first, Clint Bowyer's statement. Opportunity. Life is full of opportunity. For me, it began in the 6th grade. There was a converted school bus hooked to a trailer with the old Cleveland Street stock that was always parked right next to my school. One day at recess, I snuck over and sat in the race car. Man, it was cool. One day at recess, I snuck over and sat in the car. Man, it was cool. From that time forward, all I wanted to do was sit behind the wheel of a race car. After several unforgettable years of racing short tracks all over the Midwest, winning races and championships, I didn't know what's next, where to go, or how to get there. Boom, out of nowhere, I got a call that literally set my life on a course that I could never dreamed. Richard Childress gave me the opportunity to lead to racing cars in the greatest tracks in the country in front of a sea of fans for 16 years. During my career, I've had an opportunity the honor of representing some of the biggest and best companies in the world. To think that I've represented companies like AC Delco, Jack Daniels, General Mills, DirecTV, BB&T, Hershey's Foods, AAA, Bass Pro Shops, Camping World, 5 Hour Energy, Peak, Rush Truck Center, Mobile One, Haas Automation, DJCO, and many more. It's something I'm very proud of. To this day, I still have a great relationship with all of them. I've sat in race cars prepared by some of the very best men and women the sport has to offer. For the world-class organizations, Sharon Victory Lane with the people representing Richard Childress Racing, Kevin Harvick, Michael Waltrip Racing, and Stuart Haas Racing. It's what it's all about. So the opportunity to win races with all three manufacturers, is something I'm proud of. Chevrolet, Toyota, and Ford all have the great people and build great products and all share the same passion to be first on Sunday. It was truly an honor to represent all three. So the list of people who impacted my career would be long, and I would surely leave someone out. But at the top of the list, Richard Childress, Michael Waltrip, Tony Stewart, Gene Haas, Kevin Harvick, and Jeff Burton. I'm lucky to have the opportunity to be part of the NASCAR family, the best racing series on the planet. For me, the greatest part of it all is the drivers. We beat each other up on the track, but we'll do whatever we can for each other off of the track. I've had a lot of great teammates that have pushed me to be the best that I can be. I've never had the opportunity to share this dream with all of my family every step of the way. I had the opportunity to share this dream with all my family every step of the way. The reality is it was all of our dreams. Mom and Dad still roll into almost every race in their motorhome, just like they did when it all started, when we were racing on two wheels. My brother Casey handles most of the business, and my brother Andy is the #1 fan. Having my wife Laura and my kids Cash and Presley at the track with me each week is Sharon's. Haven't mentioned the opportunity. I'll start. Sorry, y'all. Whew. Out of breath. Very long statement by him, but let's go. Have I mentioned opportunity? Also, I've gotten older, and I've realized these opportunities are few and far between, and when they come around, you must recognize them. Just like the days before I got the call from RC standing in the Forge body shop, I've been racing throughout the years wondering, what's next? Now I get the point of what I want to tell you. I have a new opportunity to do what's next in my life. In 2022, my suit will no longer be fireproof. I'll be joining the Fox booth on Sundays. Just like my driving career, I'll be part of a great team and organization with great teammates. To say I'm excited would be an understatement. You bring your friends to the track. Curtis Nelson, Chip Williams, and I have all 16 years of more fun than anyone deserves. Been to places and met people I never would have dreamed of, and made friendships that will last forever. I was able to win races in all three primary divisions in NASCAR and a nationwide series championship. I'm proud and satisfied with what I've accomplished as a driver. I want to thank every owner who has paid a bill on behalf of every crew member who has turned a bolt on my cars, and every media member who has covered my racing career. Thank you to every sponsor who has invested in me, and thank you to every fan who has cheered me along the way. Opportunity. Fox. Here I come. Clint Bowyer. Wow, that kind of gives you the chills a little bit because he really did recap his career very well. And I also want to go on the broadcast side for a second. He will make a really good spot in Fox. Fox has a problem with the broadcast right now, and Clint Bowyer going there will fix it. Maybe some people find him going to be annoying in the broadcast, but he's really good at it. He's really good about being in the Fox broadcast booth, and I'm excited that he's going there. Him and Jeff Gordon, I think, will go good together. Darrell Waltrip and him didn't go great together. Dale Waltrip and Jeff Gordon didn't go great together. Mike Joy's just one of the best in the business, so I think Fox is rebuilding their NASCAR for next season, so we'll see. But yeah, I think they really match well and work well together. And On another note, that means the 14 car is open, and who's going to go to that car is really some of the biggest questions I've heard all year long. My prediction right now stands as I say, as I follow, as I state. Chase Briscoe's going to that car. I don't see anyone else really going to that car unless it is Eric Jones. We know there's many guys on the market, and there's many people looking for a ride. Corey LaJoie, those guys are looking for a ride. But I either say Eric Jones, Chase Briscoe. And we did see, guys, we did hear earlier, Tony Stewart wanted Clint Boyer. So, not Clint Boyer, sorry, Kyle Larson. So don't put Kyle Larson out of this equation. Either one of those three drivers, Chase Briscoe, who's one of the best in the Xfinity Series right now, making his way through the rankings, he has a good opportunity. We already heard rumors that Tony Stewart wants him back. Tony Stewart even said NASCAR reinstate Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson is the big driver right now, and I think he is being highly considered. Another driver that's on this list, believe it or not, he is one of the ones. Eric Jones, let go. He's probably one of the best or to second best on this list, so stay tuned for all of that and more. Thank you all for watching this video. If you have anything to say about it, put it in the comments down below. Give this video a like if you liked my report and a recap of the week, and stay tuned because we have another one of these coming up, and this time it's about the NHL because there's a lot happening in free agency. Thanks for watching. Have a fabulous day. Peace out.